up, snipers? Stock Sniper Nick here, and tonight we're gonna go over the watch list for tomorrow morning, which is Wednesday, July 21st. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button and that subscribe. We do this watch list video every single Tuesday night, and it's good because we have a new fresh set of tickers to talk about. I want to give a quick shout out to the team that was in the chat today. You guys were holding it down. As you saw, me and Mike were traveling today, and the team was holding it down. We had a couple nice bags, so big shout out Ghost, big shout out Sniper Randy, as always, the man. And then everyone else that's just in here grinding, you know, Sniper Johnny, we saw you were locking in on a couple tickers. Sniper PF, big shout out Sniper Cisco. Big shout out to you guys for holding it down in the chat while we were out. Something pretty cool, this week, me and Mike actually got to trade at the Niagara Falls. Wow. It was a slower week, but it was cool to be there and still get service to show that, you know, you could really do this wherever. So that was exciting. That was something I just want to share. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's dive into the watch list. All right, diving right into the watch list, guys. We are all cash tonight, so this will be a good watch list for us to go ahead and just look at it and see. Let's see if there's any new plays coming for tomorrow morning. The first stock we're going to talk about, FBCD. This one that has been one that we've been watching for a while, and this is on the list because it is a first green day, and it made a really impressive morning spike, and then it held that spike with some support into power hour. So we're actually watching this for a potential continuation. The OTC market actually announced a new rule stating that companies must be compliant with the OTC filings or else they're actually going to be banned. Be on the lookout. We have an awesome YouTube video that Sniper Al put together. We're going to dive into the custodianship in this rule even more in detail in that video. SSM Monopoly actually got custodianship of FBCD. And what this does is this allows FBCD to continue to trade on the OTC markets. There is a huge list of stocks that are going to be banned next month, which we'll talk about it more again in that video. Make sure you guys check it out. But FBCD will not be on that list, so it's pretty exciting. It's got some hype behind it. So we're keeping an eye on this one to see if it can continue. It finally got some support over 155. So let's see. Let's keep an eye on this to see if it could keep pushing. 3 cents was the high, so it's got a lot of room that it could go. And guys, again, they have merger news coming with this custodianship deal. So based on the price action, this thing could be coming soon. So be on the lookout. Keep this one on the radar. If this one is not a ticker that's on your watch list, make sure you add it. It's FBCD. Next one on the list, CYDY. CYDY is interesting because look at this wild movement that we saw last year with this. And a lot of snipers actually bagged this one. This is not new to a lot of snipers. It is back. And that's why we always say for these watch lists, make sure that you add these tickers onto your own watch list because these tickers always come back with some action. And CYDY did exactly that when yesterday it had an awesome first green day and a couple snipers bagged it overnight, where this morning it actually got a follow-up and ended up spiking another 15% from the sniper scope. So big shout out to the team that grabbed that first green day. Now, after it gapped up, it actually continued to push more than we thought it would. So now that it got that push a little bit more than we thought it would, and it's on the second green day, looking for a third green day tomorrow, we're actually not going to reach for any breakouts on this one. We're going to watch now for a pullback. We're going to watch for that panic on CYDY. And if it does panic, we really like the support spots to play it off of. And CYDY had some solid support at 160 on Monday. So that is a spot that we want to watch. Today it closed right at 190, right at the high of day. So if it gets that 30-cent panic, that could be good enough in the morning. Again, when we're talking about panics, we want to see it happen ideally in the opening minutes, and it happens in consecutive minutes, right? We want to see that, you know, 20-30% drop in consecutive minutes. And with CYDY, that would be a 30% drop if it gets down to 160. So be on the lookout for that spot if this one does start to dip in the morning. Last but not least on the list, we have NLST. This one is the newest short squeeze in the OTC market. We had LWLG, that short squeeze last week, and now NLST is doing just that. Once it broke out at the end of June, it has just had a tear here. It's just been pushing and just been holding shorts by the throat, and every single day it's pretty much gone up. So 15 of the last 18 days it has been green. So this has been a really impressive run. It's great to see the breakouts in OTC actually do this, because again, when we talked about LWLG doing this, we figured another one would come just because of how big that squeeze was. Same with NLST. Now that it's squeezing, hopefully it'll go even more, honestly, so that way it can get other OTC stocks to wake up with it. However, with NLST, this one actually started to dip at the end of the day. So it actually started for the first time to show some weakness at the end of the day. So the weakness could finally be stepping in, and that is what we're looking for here. We're actually looking for a panic dip buy here now. This stock is definitely overextended, and it is due for a big panic, most likely this week. Ideally tomorrow it'll gap down, and if that gap down happens, people start to panic, and you get that panic selling. And for the panic selling now, we like to teach you this as the last pattern because it is a little bit quicker. You have to be hands-on with this one. You got to be right on it. But in the morning, if you're watching this one, if this one dips back down, where do we want to see it dip to before it bounces? For us, for the snipers, we like to see it dip down to some solid support. And we've been watching the support down at the $5 area and down at the $4 area. So we like the spot in between that. And that'll be a pretty big pullback. That's like you're asking for a 40% panic. A lot of people don't think these stocks could panic 40%, but when they're so overextended, it happens. We'll be patient with NLST. It hasn't dipped yet, but when that panic finally settles in, let's see if we can get that dip down to those key spots for that quick bounce. Just be patient here. You don't want to just get into like a small 2-4% dip just because you're trying to get in early. Wait for this thing to really panic, because again, this one has been up 15 out of the 18 past days. And with the OTC stocks, when something like this happens, it is bound to come right back down. Thanks for tuning in, snipers. As always, we have Webinar Wednesday tomorrow for all the snipers in the group. If you guys really like what we got going on, check out our website. It's www.thestocksnipers.com, and we're trading every single day with the group in there. Much love for tuning in. If you guys have any comments, let me know down here. We'll make sure we get back to you as soon as we can. Much love, my snipers. Talk to you guys tomorrow in the chat.